Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello dear learners, welcome to this online course on writing skills. I am Dr. Divya Gupta, an assistant professor at GLA University, Mathura. Today we are going to start with diary entry. You all might be thinking about this fact that why are we doing this diary entry? Or what is the relevance of diary entry in writing skills? My dear students, my dear learners, don't take this particular topic in a very congenial manner, because this particular topic will definitely hone your skills of writing, of developing thoughts, of rejuvenating your or recollecting your ideas in a very meticulous, synchronized manner. You as a beginner, as a writer, will learn how to compile your ideas, overflowing feelings, emotions in a beautiful manner, how to exhibit your ideas in a proper, in a very presentable manner. That is what diary entry comes up with. Since there is no foundation, it's free, where you can write anything and everything that clicks to your brain. But this is the first step towards learning writing and towards honing your skills of writing. In our previous lecture, we have already done language and communication, their interconnection, the way they actually affect anybody's life, and where you learn how to incorporate or where you learn how to combine language with a wonderful communication skills. Then we did pre-writing, while writing and post-writing, different technical writing styles. And after learning those different technical writing styles, we are here to begin with diary entry, because this is a personal record of anything that comes to your brain. Many times it happens that we feel uncomfortable to speak in front of anyone, or we feel uncomfortable to jot down the points that comes to our brain. But regular diary entry will help you to actually focus your attention towards the presentable way of coming out with your ideas and exhibit them in a proper manner. Now in this case, let's begin with diary entry. Most of the time, diary entry is something that you can say step 1 of writing skill. Then we can further come up with the rest of the parts, maybe talking about notice, then you can talk about advertisements, you can talk about letter, you can talk about report writing, article writing, essay writing, etc., many other things. But this is step 1, remember. And once you are perfect at or very regular, persistent, consistent in your efforts, you would be a great writer. So these are the learning outcomes. Now in this learning outcome, remember, after this lecture, my dear learners, you would be able to understand the format of diary entry. How this diary entry, what is the format of diary entry? Then you must learn how to connect the logical ideas within a paragraph. Like it would be many ideas come to your brain, but you must know how to present them in a logical, meticulous, synchronized manner. And then learn 5 steps of diary entry. Remember, my dear students, there are 5 steps of diary entry writing. You will learn how to expand your ideas in a synchronized manner. And finally, talking about writing skills. You will hone your writing skills in that condition through diary entry. If you want to be a very good writer, please write a single paragraph every day, no matter on any topic that clicks to your brain. Learn the appropriate use of keywords and phrases. Remember, my dear students, no matter if you talk about keywords, it would be one word substitution, maybe one word substitution. It could be several phrases and idioms, right? It could be anything that comes to your brain, because it will help you to definitely go on with your vocabulary, right? So, you, my dear learners, will be perfect if you are going to learn this diary entry and make it a practice of doing it every day without any interval. Now, what are the contents that we are going to learn in it? The contents is, first of all, it is the first personal approach to diary entry, diary writing. So, why is it a first personal approach? Because the idea that clicks to your brain, immediately you try to jot down those ideas on a piece of paper. And since there is no specific foundation to it, like it will be in informal way, it will not be in a formal manner. So, remember, you can write down that clicks to your brain. It is a personal approach. That means you can write down your personal feelings, emotions, desires, dreams, right? So, please, this is very important. Organizing thoughts and making it apprehensible. So, you are going to organize your thoughts in a proper manner and you are going to make it apprehensible. You are going to make it up to the mark, remember. So, that is again a very important part. And how, what are the advantages of diary entry? That is very important. After that, remember, my dear students, you have to follow some format and some examples. We'll in this lecture also, we'll come up with some examples along with it, so that you all can learn it in a proper manner. Okay? So, these are the contents that we are going to do in this particular lecture. Now, further we are going to start with how is it a first personal approach to diary entry. How can you say that this is the first personal approach? Because this is the personal form of writing, and if a person maintains a diary, his or her personal feelings, life events, activities, or maybe some incident of his life will be captured, remember, will be captured. And then further, since it is a personal record to preserve one's feelings, remember, it is the personal record to preserve one's feelings, desires and emotions in a writing way. Then it will be treated as a secret friend, obviously, because nobody is going to see that diary entry. But this will directly help you out to share, to vent out your personal views. You express yourself freely to that diary, whatever comes to your heart and soul. Obviously, there would be a word limit, because once you are there to write something which nobody is going to see, that will definitely is it will be time consuming. So, you should remember there has to be, initially there has to be some time limit and word limit as well. It should be from 100 to 120 words, not beyond that. Clear? But when it comes to any kind of diary writing in a professional matter, like if somebody gives you, or if this thing comes in your paper, then you have to come up with a proper format, and along with proper format, proper usage of vocabulary is required. So, that is very important, word limit. And I must definitely like to remind you, Diary of Anna Frank. This is a very important example that I would like to come up over here for diary entry, because over here diary entry, this particular Diary of Anna Frank was published or was written by Anna Frank when she was undergoing that Second World War time, and when the whole thing was really bitter and all those people were confined in a solitary house, and for more than 2 years they stayed there. So, this is what and where she called her diary as a kitty, as her friend, where she confines everything that she felt. So, this is what we can say is a perfect example of diary writing. Now, further we shall move up towards how are we going to organize our thoughts and make it apprehensible, approachable. Along with that, like you should know how these things are going to be readable by anyone, because like if I take up the example of Diary of Anna Frank, it was published well, and after Bible at that time it was like the best seller, okay, because it was the live experience of somebody who was undergoing the pains and sufferings of Second World War. Okay. So, remember my dear students, if your diary is like, if that diary entry includes anything and everything that goes around you, that must have a substantial, or that must have some kind of potential to get published as well, right. So, you should keep that in mind, that everything that you write down in that will definitely help you out to come up or to vent up everything that is there. Now, what are the 5 steps to organize and declutter mind, find flow and keep on track for a synchronized matter? Now, these are the things. Step number 1, you must discover the exact event and activities to be mentioned. So, you should concentrate on an exact event. Like suppose if I talk about Republic Day or Independence Day flag hoisting ceremony at Red Fort. So, if I had participated in that, I would certainly talk about all the event, the whole event in a meticulous and synchronized manner. That can be treated as a permanent record, okay. So, you remember, you should note down the exact event and along with the activities to be mentioned. Further, you should organize them in a right order. If the Prime Minister turned up first, then the officers, and then the whole ceremony began, you must come up with all the events that took place on that day in a meticulous manner. Remember, in a very synchronized manner, right order. Maintain the regularity. Your regularity is the essence of diary writing. It's not on one day you are writing and on second day you forget to write diary entry, and third day again you forgot, and then fourth day you again started writing. That will break the consistency, okay. So, in order to create the excellent writing skill, in order to inculcate that habit of writing, you must try to do it regularly on a daily basis. As if you eat, drink, in the same way you should try to write down any idea that clicks to your brain in your diary. That will help you out to become a very good writer, because this is the first ladder, the first step towards successful writing. So, it must maintain the regularity. Drafting should be done with proper breaks and fixed time limit. Now, what am I talking about with this proper break? Why is it proper break? Because you must allocate some time limit to it. It's not like every day you are writing for a length of time without even like taking rest, or what you can say is like without reviewing it. you must try to review it very properly. Clear? So, proper breaks are required. If you are writing at 7 o'clock one day, then you must write it the next day at 7 o'clock only, or maybe before and after that, could say like that. But you should not make a habit of just making it a tedious job. Fixed time limit should be there. As if I told you, fixed word limit and fixed time limit should be there. You should definitely involve, or you should allocate only half an hour for diary entry, or maybe if maximum to maximum thinking and recapitulating all those points, then 45 minutes, not more than that. But try to comprise that within half an hour or 20 minutes, 25 minutes, not more than that. Management of time, obviously you learn how to manage your time in that condition. If you really want to maintain organize your thoughts and want to make it more apprehensible, everyone. Further, we learn the requisites of diary entry. What are the requisites of diary entry? Requisites are the essential parts of diary entry where everyone should learn. And what are these requisites? Because it will help you out to be more creative, more imaginative. With that more creative and imaginative spirit, I am 100% sure your mind will open up and you will try to write down with some figurative language, personifications, hyperbole, metaphors, exaggeration of idea, pun, then satire, irony. You would be able to use all of them along with one word substitution, idioms and phrases, which will make your work more eloquent. It's not that you are using those words especially for diary entry, but you are learning those words and implementing those words in your regular writing skills as well, writing compositions as well. So, it will help you develop that creativity and imaginative work, imaginative spirit. So, remember, always drafted in the first person pronoun. That is very clear to all my dear learners, that it will be written only in first person pronoun. That is I, me, my, right? Because this is the personal experience that I had gone through, and I am expressing my own personal feelings and desires. So, there would be a personal approach to it, remember. And along with that, such as I, me, articulates the personal thoughts and feelings of the writer. Then it will follow the chronological order of activities. Chronological order, that means I have told you when any incident happened, if you gave a presentation, if you appeared in IAS exam, or if you want to, like suppose if this is the first day of job, what happened one by one? When did you reach, the timings, and then further how did the whole process went on. Okay. So, what you have to keep in mind is the chronological order of activities. It should not be beating around the bush or just coming up with the end first of all and then coming up to the starting. No. It will not go in a reverse chronological order. It will go on in the chronological order methodology. Then focus on grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Remember, because since you are writing it in your personal diary, it does not matter that you are free to or you are allowed to go on with grammatical errors. You are allowed to go on with spelling mistakes, with wrong spellings. No, my dear students, my dear learners, you must know that there has to be grammatical accuracy and there has to be spelling check as well. Because if you are writing some difficult word, make sure to use best dictionary. Okay. So, remember my dear students, you should concentrate on this aspect that it has to be free from any error, no matter it is grammatical, lexical or any other. Then obviously, because since that incident or activity has already passed out, you must try to use the past tense in that condition. Past tense in that condition, because this thing has already happened, it would be written in simple past, or you can use present perfect, that has already the activity has already happened, or maybe if you are coming up with any kind of like future plan, then you can use future tense as well, okay, but not present tense, my dear students, because this has already passed, and present perfect will definitely say something more about the activity that has already happened. So, this is the most important requisites of diary entry. You must remember, whenever you go on with diary entry, although everything is allowed, but you must concentrate on grammatical errors, you must concentrate on lexical and spelling errors, you must concentrate on usage of past tense, remember my dear students, past tense, and you must concentrate on the use of personal pronouns, which is very important. So, these are actually you can say the amalgamation of all those rules, which will make you a perfect reader and a perfect writer as well. With this note, we will move forward towards the another part of this diary entry, that is style and tone. When you talk about diary entry, it has to be followed, it has to be written in some stylistic pattern, right? There has to be some kind of tone. Can it be sarcastic? Yes, of course. Can it be in a very monotonous way? No, not at all. Boring? No, not at all. It is not allowed. You must try to use more figurative language, style, writing skills, everything. Like first of all, remember informal way of writing. Why it is informal way of writing? Because informal way of writing, since it is written for you, addressed to you only, addressed to dear diary, right? When you talk about dear diary, then obviously it is addressed to somebody who is your close friend, secret friend, and that has to be informal, remember. Then you must use the personal tone, and sometimes you can be philosophical and reflective. Why philosophical and reflective? If you talk about something like if there is some kind of like problem, or some kind of like if you say pollution problem, melting of glaciers, or holes in ozone layer, or maybe recession in economy, right, economic recession. If you talk about all these things, you will come up with some kind of philosophical idea. If you talk about some Freud's theory, you can definitely talk about philosophical approach as well. You must have a reflective tone as well. Reflective tone, because you would be contemplating on those things, and after contemplation you have to come up with your own innovative ideas that should be reflecting your own personality. That it would be not reciprocal, it would be again exhibiting what you feel, right? So, remember, it can be either philosophical or reflective. Then it can be logical as well. The tone can be logical. Now, while talking about tone, it will be logical because it will be rational, it would not be talking about something irrelevant. And then further, after style and tone, we will move forward towards the elements of diary. Now, what are these elements of diary? Elements of diary writing are interference. Interference, that is logical guess based on information from the text. Any idea that you gain from the text, or any idea, you can say any kind of like hint that you are getting from the text, guesswork. So, that is interference. All like a person can be a good writer, yeah, right? A person can be a good writer, but how did you get those inspirations? You get those inspirations from the outer world only, okay? So, from that outer world you gain everything. And then further, simile, use of figurative language. Simile, there would be a comparison between two things. Simile is again a figurative you can say language, and figure of speech, where there is a comparison between two objects They are dissimilar with each other, but sharing, but their comparison is done with the help of so as like. Then after using simile, we can use metaphors. That is again a comparison between two things without using so as like. Life is like an ice cream. This is simile. Life is an ice cream is a metaphor. Then we can use ellipses. Ellipses are 3 dots at the end. 3 dots at the end. For example, if I say, if I talk about child is the father of man. Now, if I put 3 dots over here, this is ellipses. Now, in this condition, what does it happen? What does it show? That means some material has been omitted. You can write down few more words after it, that is ellipses, or something which is like which is not properly ended, you can say. So, at that time definitely you can use these ellipses. For example, many times you say best wishes, and best wishes, then you put 3 dots. Okay. So, these are some words that you can use, some tone, some elements of diary entry that you can use, ellipses. Then personification, when non-living thing is treated as living, that is called personification. So, in this way, non-living things is attributed with living characteristics, right. So, in that condition you can say could be anything, or you can use hyperbole as well. Then you can use metaphors, figurative language, as I told you, you can use pun, you can use satire, then irony, could be anything that will embellish your writing skill. So, hyperbole is like, suppose if I say all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. So, now in this condition, this is an exaggerated form of anything, like where the perfumes of Arabia, because Arabia is famous for perfumes and fragrance. So, he says that all the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. This is called hyperbole. Now, in this condition, like you can use as many figurative words, figurative speech, using those personifications, using those ellipses, simile, metaphor, puns, satire, one word substitution to embellish your written work. And then further, while talking about elements of diary, these things are very important. Now, what are the advantages of diary writing? As if I told my learners that you have to write daily at least one passage. Now, you will definitely make sure, you will definitely learn what are the things that you will learn or just observe in your own personality, because this thing will help you out to inculcate, first of all, ideas. Innovative new ideas will click to your brain. You would be able to cater the attention, you would be able to cater the attention of the readers as well. And then further, if not diary entry, if you do it, if you go on with that diary entry regularly, this will help you out in a logical exhibition of your ideas, logical way of presentation you will learn. And above all, after logical presentation, you will learn to jot down them in a proper manner. So, this is like, let's do it on this particular way. So, it will enhance the vocabulary of anyone. Vocabulary, you will learn new words, how to express this feeling, you will try to find out new words from the dictionary itself. If not from the dictionary, obviously you will learn how PM Modi said these words, or maybe some of your relatives, some of your some of the person whom like some lectures you might have attended or seminars you might have attended. So, you will mesmerize those words, right, and you try to implement those words in your writing skill. So, that will enhance your vocabulary. Remember the new words, make a diary where you can maintain the new words vocabulary, because these new words will help you out to surmount or to reach the pinnacle of your success. It will definitely improve your language, right? It will definitely improve language, and it will improve methods of expressing things in an accurate tone. It will help you to express things in an accurate tone, as if I told you that the tone can be philosophical, right? The tone can be, come on, tell me, informal, philosophical, reflective, could be any type. So, it will help you out to exhibit your idea in a proper tone, and then further writer becomes more expressive. In this condition, you will learn how to express it freely. And finally, one gets acquainted with the habit of sharing one's feelings with diary. So, not only with diary, but with various other things, with the, in different pattern, in different format, you will learn how to go on with that. Then it increases confidence. Finally, it will definitely increase the confidence that you have. Okay. So, remember my dear students, this diary entry or diary writing will help you out to learn, to express, and to obviously to do experiments with your feelings. Now, format and examples. So, what is the format that you are going to follow while drafting a diary entry or while making out something on a diary, right, jotting down your ideas on the piece of paper? First of all, you have to write the date. Okay. First of all, you have to write the date. It could be, for example, today is, suppose if I say 15th August, then 22. Further, if it is day, you must concentrate on, that is Monday. Then time, remember my dear students, it has to be the later half of your day, because the activity has already happened, the incident has already happened. Okay, you cannot write diary entry in the early morning hours at 6 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, because you always try to jot down the points that or events that you have already gone through at that particular, on that particular day. So, time could be 7:30 p.m. right. So, all these things will be left aligned. Remember my dear students, it will be left aligned. Then you will write the salutation. This is salutation. You can address dear diary, dear friend, dear Kitty, as if Anna Frank write dear Kitty, okay, because it is a kind of secret friend to you. So, this is the salutation which is very important. And many people, after leaving one line over here, many people say that you should write the topic as well in different line, but this is optional. This is optional. If you want, you can write down. If you do not want, you can just leave this one, right. So, my dear learners, topic is optional. So, these are the things: left aligned, diary entry, and topic will be center aligned. Is that clear? Understood everyone? Now, from here our content will begin, body of this diary entry. So, what is the content? Because the activity incident has already passed out, you will start writing with yesterday or today or once. I had either the bitterest experience, it would be bitter experience, sweetest experience of my life. Clear? So, in that condition, I had, like, you are going to exhibit your first primary feeling, that what are you going through. If it is the first day of your job, what will you write? That today I had the sweetest experience of my life, or worst experience of my life. You can say worst. But I would not wish that you people should have the worst experience of your life, Rather be very positive, it will be sweetest experience of your life. So, then you will come up with different points. I never had a worst or I never had a beautiful experience before. This kind of experience was something new and it was a memorable stay, like, or maybe you can say it was a memorable day when I entered the office and found my head to be sitting over there. He was highly motivating and highly cherishing my activities and my background efforts that I have done earlier. And then further you come up with one step by step, I met so and so person, I did so and so task, and I finally at the end of the day I was being congratulated by my fellow workers to excel in this field. And the last line would be, I will never forget this memorable event in my whole life. So, this could be the exact, you can say, performa of jotting down your ideas for all those novice or all those new writers who are trying to come up with their or start their diary entry. And finally, signature. If name is not mentioned, if you are writing the name, like suppose if I say Radha, then there is no need of this signature. Like if I say Radha and make the signature like this. Signature is again optional. Signature is again optional, right? So, if like the topic and signature, they both are optional. It is not at all mandatory to write down the topic and signature in diary. So, if I am not wrong, my dear learners, everyone must have learnt the format, right? And looking at the just comprising everything, first of all you must have personal approach to it, personal pronouns, personal feelings, desires and feelings. Then you must come up with I, me, my. Second point, it is that you must come up with logical exhibition of your ideas of any event. Then you must have the proper format using the proper vocabulary and with no grammatical errors and spelling errors. Then further you must learn how to concentrate on format. Now remember, on the top, maybe many students get confused that sometimes day is written on the top and date below it. But let it be, my dear learners, please do not get confused with it. It will be like that, date on the top, then day, time, then leave one line space, and after leaving one line space, write salutation, dear diary, and before that you can write down topic which is again optional, okay. And then content again I told you that it would be written within 100 to 120 words, not more than that, clear, 100 to 120 words. And last line, you must come up with the idea that I will not forget the acquaintance or today's pleasure or today's experience, could be anything. And last but not the least, the name of the person who is writing, that is the writer's name, the who is writing, where signature is also optional, right, where signature is again optional to you, whether if you want you can write down, if you do not want you can skip that one. So, I hope my dear learners, format and examples with rules and regulations, the requisites and essential requirements, how to make it more apprehensible is very clear to all of you now. Because step by step you would be learning how to be a perfect, wonderful, impressive writer, yeah. So, these are the common topics that you generally get for diary entry. You can write down favorite time of the day, first day in school or college, you can say first day of the job, of any job, my interview, visit to friend's place or grandma's place, you can write down like that. You can write down on earthquake, you can write down on personal problems, You can write down on any topic that clicks to your brain. My class teacher, my ideal, So, anything and everything that clicks to your brain, which will instigate your writing skills, which will instigate, or you can say which will, I'm falling short over here, maybe which will help you out or motivate you to be a very good writer, sprout the feeling of writing in you people. So, visit to old age home and orphanage, attending a marriage, favorite sports, favorite day, anything. Then with these common topics, let me come up with sample of diary entry. Now, this is the question that I have taken from Delhi University question paper, and now this is, let's go on with this example. Sample of diary entry. We will try to come up and write down the diary entry on this particular topic. You are Raju Ranjana, studying in a college of University of Delhi. You are motivated by the Clean India campaign of the Prime Minister and participated in Clean Your Campus drive initiated by your college. Write a diary entry in 100 to 120 words on the subject. So, now you have the topic, okay. So, the topic is Clean Your Campus. This is the drive, and which was inspired by Clean India campaign of the Prime Minister. Clear? So, now how will you start writing that diary entry? Let's come up to the blank slide and we will start writing this thing. Now, looking at this, all my dear learners, please pay attention. Since I told you that we are going to focus on, first of all, date on which we are writing. Suppose if it is a cleanliness drive, let us make it 15th of August. 15th August 22. I told you day, that is Monday. Then you would turn up with your time, that is 7:30 p.m. So, you have already mentioned date, time, date, day and time. Now, leave one line and write dear diary. Clear? After dear diary, you can just move up to content. Since I told you that it is your free will whether you want to write down the topic or not. So, you can skip that topic part. If you want, you can write down from here. I had a magnificent day. Right? I had a magnificent day, comma, today. I participated in a cleanliness drive. Initiated by our honorable Prime Minister. I, along with my friends, distributed the pamphlets and made the public aware about cleanliness drive. So, you have already experienced that day, okay, and you have experienced about the beautiful words, that is magnificent day. Then it was a cleanliness drive, then by our honorable Prime Minister. Then I have included the pamphlets, along with my friends distributed them, made them aware. Now what else you can add? We conducted the drive. Where did we conducted the drive? We conducted the drive on the, or you can say in the rustic areas where garbage is dumped. Understood everyone? So, because since it is a cleanliness drive, we conducted this drive in the rustic area where garbage is dumped. So, most of the time you are going to come up with several live details. Live details, some like going deep into it, penetrating into the activity that has happened. Finally, all the participants got the certificate and certificate of acclamation. We all enjoyed a lot. Serving the nation, and our community, okay. You can say serving the nation and our community helped us revive the patriotic feeling among the masses. Clear? I hope to participate and initiate such type of I hope to participate and initiate such type of drives later on as well. See you. Bye for now. Since you are talking to your diary as a friend, so see you and bye for now would be the right ending. You can say bye for now, you can skip out, see you, and you can write down what was the name of that person in our question, Raju or Ranjana. So, Ranjana, clear? I am skipping out that signature part. If you want, you can just write down Ranjana like this, or I am just putting up over here only. Right. So, this is the whole thing that you can do it very quickly. Understood everyone? Right. So, this is how you are going to do your diary entry. Clear? Now, coming up with the conclusion part. But before that, I would like to tell you that there are some parts as well where you people can very easily learn to start writing daily. Make it a habit. Make it a habit where everyone will be astonished to see your writing skills. right. So, while coming up to the conclusion part, I would like to tell you that Lord Byron, he rightly said, words are things, and a small drop of ink falling like dew upon a thought produces that which make thousands and perhaps millions to think. That means, if that small drop of ink will write anything like this, please remember, my dear students, that small drop of ink will always leave, or will certainly leave an indelible effect on you people, okay, on anyone, on thousands of lives. So, whatever everyone or every great writer has written, or you can say Diary of Anna Frank, she has written. So, all these things have an indelible impact on their lifestyle. So, words, use of proper vocabulary, proper words is very essential. Then nowadays people opt blog writing as a primary source of writing. Most of the time people get the idea and they try to jot down their ideas in the form of blog writing, and they get them like updated on the portals, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on social media, different platforms. So, that blog writing is like very much in trend currently. People write their personal feelings in blog writing as a primary source of writing. So, with that blog writing, they try to come up with big and enormous like piece of work writing. Diary entry is actually a tool for students' self-reflection. Whatever students are undergoing, whatever their personal feelings are, it is a medium to express, to vent out their personal desires, their personal feelings, their feedback also. So, this is very important. Diary entry is a tool for students. And finally, if it is diary entry, yes, it will certainly spark new ideas and develop thoughts. It will certainly spark is like, if I use the word spark, I can use the word infuriated. It can infuriate, it can sprout new ideas, develop thoughts. So, diary entry is a kind of effort that you try to come up with with honing your skills, and obviously general routine that will change the writer's life, and this is the general routine which will certainly change writer's life, that is called diary entry. So, remember, my dear students, please keep a track of this thing, and if you want to be a successful writer, if you want to reach the pinnacle of your career, no matter it is letter, notice, advertisements and essays, short compositions, long compositions, any other, or no matter you are from any background, could be lawyer, scientist, or is going to become an engineer, could be from any professional arena. This diary entry would be the first step towards success, towards being a perfect writer. Okay? So, please make it very particular in your writing style. You have to be, if you want to be on the top, definitely diary entry is the best way to generate and show your excellence work of art. Yeah, thank you everyone. I am Dr. Divya Gupta from GLA University, and till then inculcate that habit of writing, everyone. No matter it is diary entry, but try to jot down all the ideas, all the like feelings that comes to your brain. Try to consult dictionaries and every other thing that will help you out to come up with. So, in this particular lecture, we have learned several things: how to enhance your vocabulary, point number 1, how to come up with personal pronouns, usage of personal pronouns, how to meticulously arrange those logical ideas that comes to your brain, and regular practice of all this thing will help you out to go on with that process, right. My dear learners, sometimes it happens while drafting a diary entry or writing any professional piece of work, we people feel the element of biased approach. Now, in this case, there are certain reasons for being biased in language. Now, which are these reasons for being biased in language? Because maybe sometimes it is on the basis of sex, sometimes it is on the basis of race, then you could be on the basis of age and physically disabled sometimes. So, these are 4 factors on which our language also become biased. For example, if I say that it is a bias free writing, how can a person write a bias free writing? Where there would be no contradictions, where there would be no gender specifications. So, many times we commit the error. Many times writers used to commit the errors on the basis of writing it or concentrating on this aspect. Sometimes unconsciously writing may exhibit some bias towards individuals or groups, isn't it? Does this happen? Yes, with many of these people it generally happens. We generally say he or she, sometimes masculine, sometimes feminine, but we shouldn't actually try, we should try to focus on this element as well to make it bias free. For example, if I say, if a student wants to join the course, he must send his application before May 21. Why am I taking student as he over here? Why not she? Why am I not writing she over here? So, this is a point of question. How are we going to do this? Either we will write like this or we have to use the plural form of it. So, let us see. Then second example, man has skillfully adapted himself to his environment. Why man will be considered as since man is used over here as human being, why this human being will be considered only masculine? So, he has used himself over here. Man has skillfully adapted himself to his environment. Why is it like that? Next, if I say noted cardiologist Dr. Gupta and his charming wife, why Mrs. Gupta is attributed with this particular adjective? His charming wife were present. So, many times we commit the errors by making it, by showing the gender based biased language. How are we going to do this or avoid this? Avoid using sexist pronoun, he, to refer to people for both sexes. Why are we using he for computer or he for an inanimate object? One way of doing is to turn the sentence into plural. Now, how are we going to do it into plural? For example, students who want to join the course should send their applications. Why? He. Initially, I used he. So, now over here their application by May. And then further by making it plural. This is the first point. And sometimes by making passive constructions will help to avoid basis. For example, everyone who wants to join must submit their application. So, everyone and their. I am not using he or she specified. So, man is used as a generic pronoun to include both men and women. Okay. So, these are some points of removing the biasness. Then individual gender, neutral word in usage. For example, chairperson, chairman. Then worker, workman. Flight attendant, stewardess, air hostess. Nowadays, we are using these terminologies. Firefighter, fireman. Senior citizens, old people. So, remember my dear students, how can you be liberal in writing? By following all these particular comments. And obviously, these things will help you out to learn the exact performer of diary entry. So, thank you for now everyone, and keep on learning, keep on writing to be a perfect one, to be a perfect writer. Thank you everyone.